welcome to the Andy Duffell Channel. Please like and subscribe, and also subscribe and like. Also leave comments, because comments are always appreciated. So remember to like and subscribe and leave comments. Yeah, welcome back. We've had a bit of a break again, just because we've been so busy. One reason is I've actually finished the recording of the Jonah Prosecution song. That's finished and that's done. Which is fantastic news. I'm really excited about that. It's exactly everything I wanted it to be musically. Now I've got to carry on with phase 2, which is the video, which is already kind of started collecting video clips for that. But that'll be hopefully next week. Start recording the video, and then after that it'll be putting the two together, and then hopefully we'll be able to have a premiere of the first original material from the Andy Duffell Channel for 30 years, something like that. And also this will be releasing a new video. It's not a new video. It's a new video for an old song. The song is Red Fields, which was written by Michael Fernandez-Arias. And it was one of our first musical exploits, and basically a song about World War One and two, and basically what happened and how we've not to forget. It's a remembrance song, and so it's relevant for today. It's relevant for because today's it's the Armistice Day today. It's the 11th and the 11th, and they're meeting in London today. That's an order taking place, which is fantastic, that we remember the fallen ones of World War One and World War Two and other conflicts since then. So that video, I think I'm going to call it the Fields of Deception, because it was about deception and lies and propaganda, and it was a war on so many different levels, which is the same which is happening with the war between Israel and Hamas. Because I want to actually talk about Israel, and hopefully in a realistic, common sense approach to Israel and the war against Hamas, because it is a war against Hamas. It's not a war against the people that call themselves Palestinians. There's nothing to do with them. It's Hamas which is using these people as a shield, and it's these people are living under a terror hate regime of Hamas. So we just want to get that straight. The war is against Hamas, this terrorist organisation that is abusing the people, again, in Gaza. These Palestinian people, they are holding them under a terror of regime, and it's Israel's attack is about liberating them, and a liberation for the people in Gaza, and they are letting them out as much as they can in this war, because this war has to take place, because Hamas has to be taken out. And that's going to be the main thread of what I'm talking about today, is what's carrying on in Israel and Hamas. And this video, the Fields of Deception, is obviously about Remembrance Day and Armistice Day, and that will be, I'm going to put that at the end of this talk, that will be a homage to the men and the women that have given their lives in sacrifice for this country, fighting against especially in World War II, they fought against a Nazi regime that was threatening to invade this country, and they defeated that Nazi regime. And that's why we remember them, and we have the chance to remember them, because they were victorious in this battle, because the enemy was wiped out. We can have a Remembrance Day for those that gave their lives for that. Because if they didn't have done that, if they hadn't, we'd be under a Nazi regime. Our country would have been overrun by an incredible hating kind of. Well, the example is, let's look at Hamas, because Hamas is the new Nazi force today, because they're the ones. I mean, the irony is unbelievable. The stupidity is unbelievable. Of the LGBTQ plus people in support of Hamas. Okay, well, I know under Hamas, LGBTQ people, gay couples that want to be together, under their regime, they'd be murdered, they'd be beheaded, and made examples of. And that's what had happened. Oh, and the feminist movement coming out in favour of Hamas. It was, again, you'd be stoned to death if you spoke out like you do in this country, where we have freedom of speech and we can say what we want. This is what our people gave their lives for in World War II and World War One, and wars where we fight for our people and their beliefs and our beliefs, because we've not to forget, this was once and still is remnants of a Christian country. That's why we have Remembrance Day. We remember him in our churches, and it's an important part of our culture. You can't take the Bible and you can't take Scripture out of these conflicts, because they were part of the reasons we were defending our right to worship our God in our country the way we want to. And that's not to be forgotten. And it's Hamas, which is the new Nazi regime that we can't ignore, which Israel can't ignore, and Israel can't have a ceasefire against them. Purely because, going back to World War II, if we gave Nazi Germany a ceasefire, because it wasn't nice and they didn't like the war, the way the war was going, and it was just, there were some civilians that were getting killed in World War II on both sides, but if we gave them a bit of a break because they don't like war. No, Hamas is a new Nazi regime, and Hamas are hiding behind people and killing people, and they're using them because they are cowards. And they are evil, and they must be stopped. And I think the other thing that's really kind of upsetting, I've been watching the news on the protests, and they're saying the Armistice Day is the perfect reason for calling out for a ceasefire in Gaza. It's exactly the opposite. There should be no ceasefire until Hamas is wiped off the face of the planet. It's insulting to the people of our country and our beliefs, purely because this is a force that has no regard for human life. It has no regard for the people that it's meant to be governing over. It doesn't care for the Palestinian people. It uses them as bait. It holds the hostages out for bait. They hide behind the hostages. They are just a regime of terror, and we can't stop until they're gone. And that's why Israel has to carry on with its fight, unfortunately. But this is war. War is horrific, and this is the reason, because we don't want to repeat the same mistakes of World War One and World War Two. And they're saying, the protesters are saying that this is a time to call out for a ceasefire, is Armistice Day. And it's not. This is a time to say, no, we're not having a ceasefire until we've stopped this threat. Because then, once you stop this threat, then there's a chance of peace. Then there's a chance of reconciliation. Then there's a chance to move forward. But as long as Hamas are governing over Gaza, Israel will be under fire, under attack, as it is every day, and has been attacked under fire every day for the last don't know how many years now. And we all think it's okay for Israel to be attacked and under fire and take this abuse of its people, this anti-Semitic abuse, this anti-God abuse, and the Western world should be appalled, especially with the way it's being portrayed on the BBC. Where do you go for reliable news? I mean, it's none of this is being reported fairly, you're meant to report news in a realistic, common sense kind of way of what's going on, and it's been so covered with kind of lies and speculation, and the amount of lies that are pouring out from Hamas about the atrocities which are going on. What are they calling it? What is it? Hollywood. Yeah, that's what they're calling it, because half the videos that are coming out of Hamas it's propaganda. These things aren't happening. I'm not saying these things aren't happening as in reality they are, but the way they are being reported as happening, coming from Hamas, is just not true. You can't trust anything coming out of Hamas's house, and when it's reported by news organisations like the BBC and others around the world, which is obviously leaning towards Hamas, and I just find it unbelievable what I'm listening to, when we should be backing Israel in its defence of itself. That's the only natural, common sense way forward dealing with terrorism. There's no other way of dealing with terrorists or terrorist organisations that are hell-bent on destroying the free Western world and hell-bent on destroying Israel. Well, you may not like what I've said, and you may not agree with what I've said, but if you don't, leave it in the comments, and I'll be quite happy to talk to you about why I'm talking as I am, as a Christian, defending Israel. I think I've said as much as I'm going to go and say about what's going on in Israel. I mean, I hope this is a short war, I do, and Israel do the job they've got to do. But this is not a time for a ceasefire, and people that are calling out for a ceasefire are basically Hamas supporters. And if you want peace, you can't. If you're a true supporter of peace, you can't be asking for a ceasefire. That's no way forward. That's asking for more death. That's asking for more terrorism for the people's liberties and freedoms, which is what we have to be fighting for. And we take it for granted in this country. Yeah, you can have gay marriage in this country. Yeah, women can speak out just as much and have the same kind of jobs as men and do what they want and say what they want in this country. They're afforded that right. Don't take it for granted. It's not something that, because obviously in lots of other countries they don't have the same privileges and rights that we do in this one. And these rights that we have been paid for by blood of our citizens and our people who have fought in World War One, World War Two, and other conflicts since then. Don't forget the Falklands War and the wars carrying in Afghanistan and things like that, where we've lost soldiers and people. That's what we're fighting for. It says it's like this is happening on our streets, in our capital, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinian supporters are coming out and saying this is okay. I'm sorry, it's not. And it is disrespectful what they're doing today with these marches. They could at least waited for another day or two. Anyway, so I just want to, what this video is about, and we've done, is just about remembering with respect the fallen ones of World War One, Two, and other conflicts. which is just, yeah, it's just a simple thing. It's nothing too flash. But it's respect for what we've come through as a nation. It was this nation that stood against it. It was this nation that said, no, this is wrong, and we are standing against it. And we were prepared to go to war for that. And we did. And we were victorious. And that's not to be forgotten also. We don't forget the fallen, but we don't forget that we won these wars. And thank the Lord that we did. Because we won't have the freedoms that we're afforded now. Right, so yeah, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on this video. Again, if you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to leave us a comment and voice the reasons why you think what I've said is wrong, or why you think, or why you're against anything I've said. And I'll be happy to talk to you. Hopefully next time get back there'll be a lot more work on the video. Hopefully the video will be a quicker thing of the Jonah prosecution. That's coming to fruition, which is an important video again, which is a message from our God of saying, hey, you're a prodigal race. Think about what that means. So I'll leave you that. I'll put on this video now. I hope you enjoy it and just think about what we fought for in this and why we are free as we are. Enjoy it.
World at war, crusading organization, what for? Proving strength, history of death, communist fears, world left in tears, allied conferences, allied plans, strategies blown, sword through the bow, Anschluss of 38, predictable fate, occupied Europe, where was the help? Veterans remembrance, red fields in a trance, winning and losing, nobody refusing, deaths in drums. Women losing sons! And all that remains are the excruciating pains, the memories of war, and they're all the flaws that they use. Remeberance of the powers trodden underfoot and mine on ammunition. So while I give a thought to those who fought, to those who died, just a billions of cried, the government disturbed and death must prefer. In the fields of deception, 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 in the fields of deception.